You're willing to take a chance that you're going to cover up for a murder. You're willing to take that chance.
What? I'm not covering up for no murder. I didn't do anything.
You need to tell me what happened 2 weeks ago or whatever and who it involved.
I don't know everybody's names, last names, first names. I don't know. Well, there was a lot of people at my house. We had a party. Some shit went down. Some guns were pulled out.
What is some shit? I don't know.
I wasn't outside. Neither Celeste wasn't there either.
Okay.
Friends, this is Alexandra Schreffler. In 2016, Kolton Shearer was shot at Alexandra's home. Police then bring her in for questioning. I'll play her interview for you now. All the images that you will see are directly from the crime scene.
I know, I'm just trying to help as much as I can, and I don't want him, like, my friend just got shot, and I don't know who the fuck did it.
How old's Kolton?
He's in college, so under 21, I think.
Okay.
Honestly, I think he's under 21, but I think he might be 21 because he went to the gas station to get beer.
Did he? Okay.
Unless he was, I don't know who he was with.
Okay. So y'all's plans, he was going to go get beer and bring it back to your place?
That was never the plan. He drove by my house, and, like, I was on the phone with him, and he, like, backed up, and the phone died. I plugged it in the kitchen, and it started turning on immediately. Like, right. I walked out to the road or whatever, and then I walked back to the house. I picked up the phone, and it was on, and I called him back, and I was like, where'd you go? Like, I saw your taillights. Like, I was out in the middle of the road. He's like, okay, stay in the middle of the road. I'm coming back. And I was like, well, where are you at? He's like, I'm at Kangaroo getting beer. It's 2 minutes. It's 10 minutes till 10. It was 10 minutes till 2. That's when it happened. Yes. That's when it happened. Sorry. I'm trying to piece things together. He was like, we're at the gas station getting beer because it's 10 minutes till 2. And I was like, okay, that's fine. What are you trying to do? I'm trying to get dressed. What kind of clothes do I need to put on?
Right.
He's like, I don't know. I guess we'll figure out when I get there. I was like, okay, well, Celeste is getting dressed. Do you want me to stand out on the road or do you want me to stand on the porch? Do you know where you're going? He's like, I don't care. And he hung up. And then I waited for like 10, 15 minutes and I called him back. And then I was like, where are you at? He's like, on your road. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go change. And he's like, okay. And then he pulled up into my driveway. I walked out and I was on the phone with him. I walked out the door. I kicked the door open because you have to kick it to open it. I was on the phone with him. And he's like, I'm here. I was like, I know. I see you. And then he got out of his truck. He walked around the back. He like started walking up to the porch. Uh-huh. And only one person came from this way. And it looked like they started rumbling and fighting. No guns, no nothing. But I freaked out. I ran inside. I did not shut the door. I told Celeste to go back to the back bedroom. Like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. She started screaming and crying and she was scared because as soon as I said that, boom, a bullet went. And I was like, I dropped to the floor and I like slid across. And I don't know if it came out of the kitchen or if it came out of the living room, but apparently there was a bullet that came through the mirror. So if there was... At your house? Yeah. I don't know if there was... I don't know how many gunshots there were because it happened so fast. Celeste said she heard 2 or 3, but I don't know how many I heard.
Okay. Well, okay, so he texts, or y'all are talking, he says it's 10 minutes till 2 because it's cut off for beer. He's trying to get some beer. And then you said it's about 10 minutes later, right, that he actually shows up at your house?
Yeah.
Okay. You're on the phone with him at this point. I mean, I just don't want to get all this mixed up. So he pulls up. Where does he pull up at your house?
In the driveway. He pulls up in the driveway.
Is he like right up? I mean, is there a parking area? Is it a paved driveway? I mean, I haven't been out. Rocks. It's just rocks. So people just pull straight up to the house, just straight in?
Yeah, okay. Okay, all right, this is, we're about to do this. So this is the house.
Yep.
This is the porch. This is the driveway.
Okay.
There's a tree line. The driveway is about this wide.
Okay.
He pulled in. This is the house. This would be the back of the house.
Okay.
So this is the porch right here. There's a house part right here. He pulled in about right here to where his tailgate was like, with like a body distance, honestly, from the bottom step.
Okay.
Like where the porch goes down.
So he pulls right up the house.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, wasn't like, he didn't like pull up to the front part of the house. It was more towards the back.
And you're on the phone with him. You walk outside.
Yeah, I was on the phone with him.
And now walk me through what you see when you come outside.
I kicked the front door open. I was on the phone with him and I was like, hold on, I'm kicking the door open. He said, what? And he's like, I'm here. And I kicked it open and I was like, I know, I see you. And then he got out of his truck. I don't know if he turned it off or not. I don't remember. Got out of his truck. He walked around the back part of the truck. And like, as soon as he like went to walk up on the stairs, someone came from this way. And then I know that I saw more than 6 people in my yard. I know for a fact. Maybe I was just freaking out and seeing shit. Excuse my language.
No, you're fine. Cussing is not going to offend me.
Okay.
You cuss all you want.
Well, I saw someone come running from this way. They were dark and dressed.
Now, when you say this way, if this bottle caps your house and this is the front porch, right, again, right? They came from this direction, like from
From like the road.
From like the main road. 16.
Yeah, like from the road. Now, I don't know if they were in a car. I don't know if they were on foot. It makes no sense that somebody would sit at my house on their fucking feet.
What does that person look like?
Who?
That ran up. Did you get a good look at him?
I don't know. I don't even know if he was black or white. I know.
Are you sure it's a guy?
I don't even know if it was a guy. I mean, I don't think anybody would have. I don't think a female would have attacked a guy. Like
Now, when you mean attacked, how did that happen? How'd that pan out? Are y'all still on the phone, or have you hung up?
No, I hung up like as soon as I saw him walk around the turn. I was like, I know, I see you.
Okay.
No, I was standing.
Or staying on the porch, and he's walking up.
Mm-hmm.
And about the time he gets to the bottom step, you see someone run up.
Yeah, but we got off the phone I hung up as soon as I said I see you,
Gotcha.
and he put his phone.
Okay, so he's just walking up. He gets to that bottom step, and when you mean somebody attacks him, help me understand. Are they tackling him? Are they? I mean, what?
Like it wasn't like somebody was robbing somebody. Like nobody went up with no guns. I never saw a gun, not one gun. I only heard gunshots. It looked like somebody was mad at him, like they knew him. Like I know you, I'm about to beat the fuck out of you, kind of thing. Like it didn't. I mean, I couldn't see Kolton's face or that person's face, but I mean the way it happened, like it looked like that was like somebody meant to do that.
Well, is Kolton having any drama right now? Like,
I haven't hung out with him. I know that. No, I don't really dramatize on Facebook.
No, I mean,
I use it to communicate.
Have you seen anything on his page where people are threatening him?
This is the first time I saw him since February.
Okay. Did these people? And you said you saw numerous people.
Key thing, I stopped hanging out with Kolton because he sold cocaine.
Okay.
I don't want to be like a snitch or anything, but
you don't need
I stopped.
Here, let me tell you something about all that. Honestly, you're going to do Kolton a big favor if you're honest about what he does and everything that he's
I don't know
involved
if
in.
humans.
Well, I know, but here's the deal. Okay, he was shot tonight, right? Right?
I don't know.
Isn't that what you told me?
I don't know. I know what they have been telling me. I don't know. I don't know for sure that my friend was shot.
Okay. People were shot in that pickup truck. It very well could be Kolton. I'm sorry, because I didn't make it out there before I turned around and had to come back out here, where I would know that for sure. So there's a good chance he was shot. I don't care what he does, okay? He could sell coke, he could do anything. It doesn't give anybody the right to shoot anybody, okay?
I completely agree.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why don't worry about that. If he sells cocaine, he sells cocaine. I mean, it's dangerous, obviously. He sells cocaine, but it ain't. I'm not gonna go investigate for it.
I know, but stuff like this happens with stuff like that. This is why I don't hang out with people like this.
It does. What else does he sell?
I don't know. I know he hangs out with everybody in Middleburg that sells drugs.
Okay.
That's why I stopped hanging out.
Are we talking heroin? Or
fuck no.
Okay.
I'm just talking about like little jit shit, like fucking cocaine and marijuana, some Xanax on the side, or some fucking dabs, or you know what I'm saying? Nothing like no crack or heroin. Okay. Do the people that he hang around with sell that stuff? Yeah. All of them do. They think it's funny to go downtown and sell crack to fucking strangers. They think it's hilarious. I don't think it's funny.
Right.
But they think it's hilarious.
Okay.
They do get into some deep shit. Do I go with them? I went with Joey one time, and that was honestly why I stopped hanging out with that crowd. Because of Joey individually, and Kolton was just like a friend of his. And Kolton like hit me up on Facebook like 2 days ago, and I was in Middleburg and I was gonna hang out with him, but I didn't. And tonight I was bored and I was like, I'm at my house. I'm not at somebody else's house. If you want to come over, come over. Like I can invite you to my house. How long have you known Kolton? Last November.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. Yeah, because I talked to Joey in like November, December, January, and February, and Kolton was his friend. So
now be straight with me, okay? Because did he come over with weed or something? I mean, was he bringing dope over?
No, he wasn't bringing anything over. The only thing that I knew that he was bringing was the beer. The beer, that's it.
Is he known to have dope on him? And I'm not trying to say that he was...
That's what I'm... Like, I don't know. I don't know him. He could be completely different of who he was then. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody changes.
When was the last time you hung out with him?
February.
So,
I mean, he could still be slinging pounds of cocaine if that's what he wants to do. You know what I mean? But I don't hit him up for like...
Well, because understand, it's just like you said, with his, what he does, this kind of stuff does happen. All right. Robberies and stuff like that. Even though you said it didn't seem like a robbery, but that's it. Most likely when people take a chance of robbing somebody, especially.
But why my house? I don't even really.
I don't know that. We'll get to the bottom of it. We're going to find out, but someone decided to specifically rob them at that point for some reason.
That's what I'm saying.
And that would lead me to believe maybe he was bringing over some marijuana or something. Some idiots were like, you know what, let's get this.
I don't know. I don't think it was robbing. Like, Kolton didn't even say, hey, I have a gun in the truck, like nothing. Like, he didn't.
Okay. Well, let's go back.
Okay, folks, it's time to introduce some more characters into this story. So, you have Jordan Coleman, you have Ozell McNabb, and you have Torrin Johnson. These were some of the individuals who pulled up alongside Kolton and then attacked him. The question is, how did they know he was going to be there, and was Alexandra involved? Well, let's see.
So anyway, so these guys come up. Do Kolton and this person start fighting immediately? Is there anything said to Kolton? What kind of help me understand what's happening there?
I walked out the door. Well, I kicked the door open.
Right.
I said, I see you. He walked around the thing. He was laughing. I said, Celeste's putting on some shorts and like, do you want to go or do you want to stay? What do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. Boom.
Okay.
I didn't even see this person. Like, I really didn't even see this person until they were like on the ground right here. Like, until I saw someone on top of Kolton. Like, I thought it was like somebody got out of the other side of the truck and came up and was like playing with him.
How did Kolton get on the ground?
The person knocked him out.
Okay, punched him. I mean, came up and
I mean, I assume because
somehow he
like it didn't, like what I'm saying is like when I was standing on the porch, it didn't look like what happened. And I don't know what happened after I went inside, but like it didn't look like somebody was about to fucking get shot and people were, none of that was what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
It literally just, like at first I thought it was his friend. Like I literally thought it was somebody that he, like, I thought he knew the person.
But you wouldn't run in if you thought it was his friend, right? You know what I mean?
I mean, I would run away from anybody that was sitting there fighting. Honestly, okay. I'm just saying I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat. I didn't know that person.
Okay. So they start fighting on the ground. Are they saying anything? Do you remember anybody saying anything? Was there yelling? No? It was just quiet? All right. So run me through. He's on the ground. What do you do from that point?
I went inside.
Okay.
And within seconds, the first gunshot was made. That's the only one I heard.
Okay. You heard one gunshot, and that's when you said you hit the floor. You slide back.
I hit the floor between the refrigerator and the counter right here. Like, when you walk into the house, there's a little counter, a stove, a sink, a caddy counter, and a counter.
Okay. So it's
I walked in through the door, literally laid flat like this. Glass was in the kitchen floor. I thought somebody hit the window. Like, I thought somebody was shooting up my house. Like, I thought I was the person that was getting fucking shot up. Like, that's what I thought it was at first. Right. I thought the people that were coming up weren't for him, like, or like anything. Like, I thought like a million things in my head, like what was going on. And then when I hit the floor because there was gunshots, I thought that it was my house that they were hitting.
Do you go by Allie?
Yes.
Allie, I need you to you need to take this very seriously. I'm not saying anything, but someone was murdered in your front yard.
Don't say that. I didn't go outside to make sure they were okay. I didn't go outside to check on them. I didn't go to the next door neighbor's house and call 911. I didn't do any of that. I just stayed in my house.
Allie, I'm not saying that there's anything that you could have done to change tonight. The reason why
I could have just went to bed. I could have stayed with Celeste. We didn't have to go to my house. We didn't have to find anybody to hang out with. We didn't have to do any of that.
Allie, the reason why I say this is probably the most serious thing you've ever been involved in, right? Okay.
And I have my 16-year-old friend involved in it too because she was at my house.
I know. So understand, this isn't just going to be some quick thing and you're going to get out of here. You're a witness in this, okay?
I don't want to be anymore.
But here's the deal. Let's say, and like I said, I don't know. Let's say Kolton's your friend, right? Or you've known him for a while. If he is the one that was killed, you owe it to him to tell us everything, right? And help us. Right? Now, as soon as I find out, I will be straight with you. I'll tell you. I know there was multiple people in the truck. I know there's multiple people that were shot. And I know that there's one dead so far. The other one's in the hospital.
But I just kind of wanted you to know that these situations, 110% of every single one I've been here and it's played out just like this situation, the same thing happened. Okay. The only thing that happened this time is it went farther than it normally would. Those people were not randomly there.
What do you mean? In
The
my
people
situation?
This situation, the whole situation. All we're trying to find out is why those people are there and who they are. Okay. And our best shot is for you to tell us, because they did not pick that address randomly and happen to be there when
That
the guys.
address has been out for weeks.
What address?
That address, the power was turned off at the house and we were supposed to leave the house, but me and Celeste were there tonight just hanging out.
I understand that, but those guys did not show up there randomly.
I understand that.
So either you facilitated something or your friend did, but the bottom line is it didn't happen without your knowledge. So this is
That would just happen in my yard with those people?
I don't think that you intended for what happened to happen. I'm saying those people that came there, you have some knowledge about who they are.
I don't. I swear to God, I don't. I would tell you if I don't. Or if I did.
Well, I mean, I think you'd be afraid at first because everybody would be. And nobody sits down and immediately tells us.
No, afraid was hearing gunshots go through my doors and my windows.
Mm-hmm.
That was afraid.
Okay. But now we're at this situation where we need to find out who they were. And the only people who's going to be able to tell us is probably going to be you.
Me?
Or your friend. I don't know their girl's name yet. Celeste.
This is what I didn't want to happen. I'm being completely honest, and I told you this shit was gonna happen.
We're trying to figure it out, though, and think about it logically.
It could be anybody. You know how people are like, the shit that goes on at the house?
Okay. Well, I'm not going to say nothing else. I'm going to let him talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we're just trying to figure out who the people are.
Okay.
Allie, hear me out.
No, this is being blamed on me.
Well, no. No one's saying you pulled the trigger or anything like that. Not once have we said that.
Okay, but then what are you thinking? I set this up? Why would I set up somebody to be killed?
You tell me.
Do I look like that kind of person?
No, I don't think you say anybody would be killed. But
I feel like that's what you just...
Allie, hear me out.
I don't know the people. If I knew the people, I'd
just
tell
listen
you.
to me. Just listen to me. I want you to. I'm going to tell you the facts we have right now. I want you to hear me out. Okay. You and your girlfriend are hanging out at the house. Okay. This guy, y'all start talking on Facebook, and he comes over. A group of people confront this truck in your yard. Shots ring out, and someone gets killed. And who knows, maybe another person soon. I don't know. Depending on how it's going at the hospital.
So this goes down on me because it's my yard?
Well, think about this. If someone gets shot in my yard, of course I'm going to be held responsible to a certain extent. Now, am I going to be held responsible as far as being labeled a murderer or anything? Absolutely not. But what are the chances? What are the chances that just people you have no idea who they are decided to sit on your house and by chance wait for this truck to pull up to rob them? That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And you know it. You've already said that.
I said that.
That stuff doesn't happen. So this is what I want you to
Either just last weekend when people were attacking somebody's car too, that doesn't happen either.
Do what? Last weekend when somebody was... Okay. So here's what you got to decide.
I'm aware that the house was a dangerous place to be. I'm aware that there were people threatening. But did I think anybody was going to do anything? No.
Okay. Well, who was threatening then?
Nobody does.
Allie, look at me. Allie, here's the deal. We're at a point now where you're protecting somebody who killed someone.
No, I'm not. I don't know who pulled the trigger. I don't know those people.
You just held back on me.
No.
You just held back on me. I don't know why you're protecting the murderer.
I'm not. Now I'm being defensive because I feel like now everybody's blaming this on me. And I literally was just trying to hang out with the fucking...
Okay, but hear me out. Regardless of what your intentions were, a bad thing happened that you set up, hey, come over here. This is my address. Come hang out or we'll leave from here.
If that was going to happen, why the hell would I give them my direct address? Why? Why wouldn't I give them the address next door? I'm smarter than that. If I was going to set that up, it wouldn't have happened like that. Mm-hmm. Dead or not dead, it wouldn't have happened like that. And I wouldn't have did it in my yard. I wouldn't have did it in my yard. I wouldn't have let anybody do anything in my yard like that ever. Why would I do that? I would be sitting right here. Mm-hmm. Why would I tell you?
I agree with you. The problem is something you just told me, is that you knew it was a dangerous place. There were threats made, but you didn't think anything would happen like that.
No, I didn't.
You just told me.
But I don't think that this has anything to do with that. I don't know what this has to do with. I don't know anything anymore.
But you realize that information might be the reason for this whole thing. Maybe I don't know that anybody had the intent to kill anyone tonight. Maybe they just came up to beat somebody's ass, to jump them, and shit got crazy. I don't know.
This kid said he wasn't gonna do anything to hurt anybody at the house or me or anything, but because he came to a party and something happened to him, then it was at that house that I was supposed to be responsible for it. And he told me personally that he wasn't mad at me and that nothing was gonna happen, and I believed him, and 2 weeks went by and nothing happened. I wasn't there. I was at my friend's house for a couple of days because of this, came back, nothing happened. His nana turned the power off. Jordan got the power turned back on. I came there with Celeste after we babysat, and it could have been anybody that actually came through on Facebook tonight. Anybody. It didn't have to be Kolton. It could have been anybody that I was like, hey, do you want to chill? Anybody that could have came to my house. That could have happened to them.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because people are nasty. People do mean things. When you do drugs and you're around people who do drugs, they don't give a fuck.
But Allie, why would people be sitting around your yard waiting for somebody to pull up?
Because they, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And I'll agree with you. A lot of these drug things, they don't make sense. You're right. But this is... I don't know every part to every single story to sit here and tell you everything that's going on. It could be relevant. It could be irrelevant. So let me decide whether it's relevant or irrelevant.
No, because I'm the one that's going to be thrown through the mud for this, not
Why?
you.
What? Who's going to throw you through what?
Who was it? Who did this?
You're willing to take a chance that you're going to cover up for a murder. You're willing to take that chance.
What? I'm not covering up for no murder. I didn't do anything.
You need to tell me what happened 2 weeks ago or whatever, and who it involved.
I don't know everybody's names, last names, first names. I don't know.
Well,
there was a lot of people at my house. We had a party. Some shit went down. Some guns were pulled out.
What is some shit? I don't
know. I wasn't outside. Neither did Celeste. Wasn't there either.
Okay, but you've heard. Give me the story.
Yes, the name is Jared Wells. Jared Wells was the person that got fucking fucked up. That he pulled out the gun at the house and he said shit. And then I was with him like 2 days ago and he was fine. He was like, or not 2 days ago. Like, what's today? Saturday.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, my people are coming to that house and they're going to fucking blow shit up and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, please don't come into the house. I had nothing to do with this. Don't do that. We're not. He told me that they weren't going to do anything. So that's irrelevant. But
okay. And listen, I might be able to, once we look at everything, we might be able to just count this whole thing out and say, yep, that is irrelevant.
But if it's not, then...
But yeah, I mean, how...
I threw names out there that didn't even belong in this. I don't want to be in this anymore.
Are you serious? Allie, are you serious? Now, did Jared have issues with Kolton? Was Kolton there?
No.
Who did Jared Wells have problems with?
I don't know who did... I told Jared this evening, I don't know who did that shit to Jared. I don't know what went down. I don't know any of that.
Did he get beat up?
I think he got jumped. I don't know. Okay. I think he got jumped. I think he got robbed. Somebody said... There was a bunch of things said. I don't know a straight answer to be telling you the complete truth.
Just tell me what the rumors are.
All those things.
Okay, so that Jared was robbed and that he was jumped. What was he robbed
Arrested.
Of? He was arrested?
Apparently he was arrested.
At your house?
No, at some other house. This is just so really long.
Okay, well here, let's do this. I think it's fair. I think it would be fair to whoever was killed tonight that we go through this story.
Okay. We were at Jordan threw a party at the house.
At your house?
Yes, and Jared was robbed of like a whole bag full of drugs.
Okay.
And apparently they gave it back. I don't know that information.
Okay.
And apparently they didn't get anything, but because they attempted to, Jared said that they were gonna do shit to the house. Like, they said they weren't doing anything extreme, and that they were going to shoot up the house, but they weren't going to hurt anybody, and they weren't going to do it while anybody was home, and they were going to shoot up vehicles. And I told him that there was no vehicles there that were worth even shooting up, and he said, okay, well, my people are going to handle this, not me. As in people, I don't know who he's talking about. I literally met this kid last weekend. I don't know him from Adam, like, at all.
Are you friends with him on Facebook?
Yeah.
Does Jared have any issue with Kolton? Does he think Kolton's involved?
No, Kolton wasn't involved in any of this.
But
Nothing.
could Jared have
None
thought
of this. No. That's why I said that that's irrelevant.
It's really not, though. If someone pulled a gun, 4th of July weekend, if there was a big fight, somebody pulled a gun at your place, even though you weren't throwing the party. Remember when I asked you to begin with, has there been any issues with anyone and all that? That's what I meant. This is the kind of stuff that's important to get out now because it may seem completely irrelevant, but this is the crazy shit that happens. People get pissed off, they get screwed up, they get high or whatever, and they come back and they do something stupid. And they probably didn't mean for it to go this far. But it happened, and now we got to deal with it.
This is a dream. This is a bad dream.
I'm telling you right now, it's not a dream. It is not a dream. This is as real as it gets. Where does Jared, you said you communicated with Jared, you saw him, he said nothing's going to happen. Where did you see him at? How did y'all communicate and all that?
The next day after it happened, the person that was with him.
Who's that? Yeah, I gotta have names.
Savannah.
Savannah?
Some little girl that was at the party. They left her there. When he pulled out the gun, he left her there. So he came back to get her and she asked me to go with her. So I went with her. And then they dropped me back up at home. But when I was there, I apologized to him and I was like, look, I'm sorry. I had nothing to do with that. Like, this is my home. This is where I have to live. Please don't do anything to my home. And he's like, I'm not personally going to do anything to it. He was like, but I don't have anything against you and I'm not mad at you.
She's a
Am
white
I
female.
going to be arrested for this?
I don't see any reason. Have you done anything wrong?
No, but I feel like everybody's making me feel like I have because he's dead.
You know what that is, though? That's guilt. That's nothing we're doing. That's nothing we're doing. Understand we're frustrated because people aren't telling us the truth. Because, and I'll put it to you like this, there was more people in that truck that are also talking to us that weren't shot. That are telling a little bit different version than you.
What do you mean? Like, what happened? I don't know what happened outside. I do not know what happened outside.
No, I'm talking about even pulling up and people walking up to the porch and stuff. And I say that to say this. If you have, I'm willing to give you a clean slate. If you've even, and I'm not saying you're lying, but even if you've exaggerated or left something out and all that, you've got to understand someone lost their life. Okay? I know BS,
that it could have been
all the BS, and it could have been you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not.
All the BS we normally do and all the stuff all the hoops we normally have to jump through to get people to tell the truth. This is when we get impatient. And that's why, like, when he's talking to you, people are frustrated because we're trying to get justice for these people who are being killed. And you guys, I don't mean you guys, but you're worried about little things like what's on your Facebook or what pictures are on y'all's phone and stuff like that. And it's crazy. I'm not saying you pulled the trigger. I'm not trying to say you set up a murder or anything like that. I will say it is very likely you were involved on the people, or that you know the people who did this.
I really don't.
It's just very likely. Okay? That you know exactly, at least one or two of them, you know somebody who is with this. Just for the fact of this Jared Wells guy, you weren't even telling me about. But this is...
Because I didn't think it was relevant. I don't know. What is irrelevant to this. If I knew the people that came up and did this, I would know exactly why they did it and everything. I really would. I swear to God, I would. If I knew who these people were, I would know why they did what they did. And you think I wouldn't tell you if somebody was killed? Come on, this isn't like stealing pizza fucking from a Dollar General. I know that this is serious. I'm aware that this is serious. I run in with you guys all the time over petty stuff. Over petty stuff, this is not petty. And do I freak out? Yes, I freak out all the time because I panic. But it does not mean I'm lying. At all, whatsoever. There may be parts and things that are mixed up in my head that I can't put the whole truth to, but I'm not lying.
Has there been, before we get too far in this, anything else that's happened that you may not think is relevant? I don't care if it's so much as a show.
There's just a bunch of hood rat shit going on. A lot of dramas, a lot of rumors, a lot of everything.
Specifically with Kolton in your house.
No, Kolton was, that's why I'm so confused. Kolton has absolutely, I don't understand. He has no tie to anything, not even to me, except for that I was friends with him through Joey and I hit him up to hang out with him. So yeah, I guess it is my fault he's dead because I invited him to my house.
Not necessarily. You gotta understand. What we're trying to figure out. It sounds like what you're trying to figure out too is why would they choose Kolton, his friends, in this truck? Why? I mean, it's crazy to sit here and say that this group of people were set up around your yard or in the woods or whatever, just waiting on somebody to pull up, unless they knew there was dope in that truck, or that there was a possibility.
How do you know that they were standing there waiting?
You think these people were just walking by, saw the truck, ran over, and committed a robbery and a murder?
No.
Right.
So there was somebody waiting and watching my house?
How else would it happen? This doesn't happen anywhere else. There's nobody at my house getting shot up and all that because nobody's around. People don't just they don't just commit murders like that.
I know that.
They don't.
No, I don't actually know what that's like, but.
Right, I get what you mean. So it had to have been, and you'll be surprised by the end of this, and I really hope you're not lying to me. I'm not saying you are. I really hope you're not lying to me. Because by the end of this, it will come out if you knew about it. And understand, if you even knew anything, and you held back at all, then you are risking your freedom with that. If someone was killed on your property, and I can prove later on that you knew that there were these other guys around, you may not have known what they were going to do, but you knew these guys were around and you didn't tell me, absolutely you can get yourself in trouble. And that's why I say it's real as anything. And that's how people always get in trouble. That's how they always get in trouble. I can't tell you how many people I sit in front of and I plead with them. Hey, I know there's more to this.
I'm just trying to think of who would be that dumb to kill somebody.
Who would have been at your house earlier? Well, is there any of Jordan's friends who would have been at it? It sounds like Jordan's friends are robbing dope dealers. If this guy Jared comes over and there's an issue.
No.
Almost every single case I work like this, I'm going to tell you. Almost every single case. I'm sitting in here, and it always pans out to be like this. I'm sitting in here with a female, and I'm talking to her. She's invited somebody over, or she's told somebody something, okay? Just unbeknownst to them, really giving somebody a plan to rob someone or whatever. The last one was over in St. John's Landing Apartments that I work.
But rob Kolton for what? I don't even know if he sells drugs or does drugs.
Kolton, you just told me he sells cocaine.
Right now, at this moment in time, no.
But hear me out. And then you also just showed me the message where he says, I'm running this shit right now, but I want to hang out with you after. We can read between the lines. I'm not stupid. The guy sells drugs. Okay. I'm not in.
But I can't honestly say that. But I guess he's not here to defend himself either. But the last time Kolton sold me drugs was when I was with Ellis and Lucas, and we hit him up at 9:00 for treat, not any hardcore drugs, for fucking pot. And he didn't even come until 3:00 in the morning, and I was asleep.
Right. You know what almost makes more sense to me in this whole thing is if he was coming over to give y'all pot or whatever, or to sell y'all pot. I'm not saying, just hear me out. I promise I'm going to let you talk. It just would make more sense to me that he came over with drugs, either to smoke out, hang out, or whatever, but he came over with drugs. Someone knew about it. Someone had to have known about it. There's more.
No,
there was
plans to go get drugs, not have drugs. He didn't have drugs when he got there.
Oh, yes, he did. I can tell you 100% he did.
Okay, well.
You see what I'm saying?
I didn't know that he had drugs when he got there. There was plans to go get drugs.
What plans did y'all have?
Nothing. It really wasn't even a set-up plan. We didn't even know what we were doing, where we were going, anything. We knew that we wanted to hang out and we wanted to do drugs. That's it.
Okay, but it was your words that there were plans to get drugs. You didn't think we had drugs there. So what were the plans? Get weed, smoke out? What was the plans? In your mind, what did you want to do when Kolton comes over?
I was bored and I wanted to hang out me and Celeste just didn't want to sit there by ourselves.
But I'm just saying, when he comes over, what's in y'all's mind? What's y'all's plan? Go get weed, smoke out?
Probably.
Go get coke?
Probably.
Okay.
Depends on how the night goes. It doesn't, I don't know. In my mind, my plan was to just hang out with him. I've been trying to hang out with him for a week. Okay. He was supposed to come to Cheyenne and Jennifer's. It wasn't it was not like this.
But Alex,
the way it seems.
Right, the way it appears is bad. You can see it.
That's why I'm crying, because the way it seems is bad. But everything seems bad when you're dealing with pot, cocaine, or anything else. Right. It always seems bad. Nothing comes good of it. Nothing comes good of situations like this.
Right. The only thing we can do is, we can all say here, mistakes were made tonight. Okay? People made bad decisions. And I'm not talking about just you. Obviously, there's a lot more people that made bad decisions. There's nothing we can do about what happened. The only thing we can do from here on.
What do y'all want me to tell you?
I need you to be more cooperative. I need you to be way more straight up. It took way too long just to even get this Jared guy's name out of you. Okay? And I think you're used to holding back from the police because you probably had bad experiences in the past and there's been all kinds of drama and you don't want to bring the police to everybody's doorstep. Okay? But if you really cared about Kolton and whoever he hangs out with and just life in general, someone's life.
I care about life in general.
Someone was taken. I don't want to tell you it was Kolton's because I'm not sure. But it was somebody.
Whoever's in that room said it was.
Really? Well, there you go. It very well could be. I'm not saying it's not. So if Kolton's dead.
Stop, see.
Okay,
please, well, it's freaking me out.
If Kolton has been killed, it's a bad situation because it happened at your house. So it's time to cut through all the bullshit and let's
there's a lot of bad shit that happens at that house. A lot of bad shit that happens at the house.
Well, then explain that to me. What bad stuff?
I don't know.
Because here's the deal. And I guarantee you at some point tonight, you have or some point today, tonight, whatever, you have communicated, maybe trying to get with people on Facebook, other people, saying, hey, come over, whatever. I'm going to try and get some weed or whatever. With no intentions of anybody doing anything, and they come over and they decide they're going to be bold and they're going to rob somebody.
No. Nobody robbed anybody when William came up to the house. Nobody robbed anybody when Michael was there. Nobody robbed. That's what I'm saying. Nobody.
So that should tell you.
This was at like 2:00 in the morning.
That should tell
Nobody
you.
should have been sitting outside of my house.
That should have told you even more that someone knew who it was when they were coming and everything else. That's what tells me.
Everybody
it's
has
screaming. Whoever it is, whoever did this.
I've changed my password multiple times, so there's no way.
I'm not saying that anybody hacked in your Facebook. I'm just saying someone has either talked.
My Facebook is on everybody's phone. But either way, I've changed my password multiple times.
But y'all communicated by telephone. Y'all didn't communicate. All he said was send me your number, that kind of thing. Y'all didn't, there's no conversation as far as bring weed or anything like that. So even if someone was looking at your Facebook, no way. They wouldn't have put two and two together. No way. The only way that the only scenario that this plays out is someone knew Kolton and his friends were coming over and it either had beer or drugs or were going to go get beer or drugs. Did they tell anybody they were coming over? I can't ask them right now. I'm only talking to you. Now, there's 8 other detectives working. We're trying to put pieces all together and we will in the long run. But my fear is because you're not a bad person. Okay. I know you and I know you used to live with Katie and everything and I've dealt with you before. You're a kid. You like to have fun. All right. But this shit's way over your head now. This is insane. Okay, so, like I told you, you're not a bad person. However, you're holding back for whatever reason. And I think you're afraid of getting yourself in trouble because whoever did this, I'm telling you, they've been to your house before and you've invited them over before. Or you know them somehow. They've come over, they've hung out.
I'm literally playing in my head and thinking of anybody that could have walked in my door that would have been capable of killing somebody. And I can't think of one person.
Allie, anybody in a situation when they
that
get in
fights. That Jared kid could have killed somebody at my house, but he didn't. He didn't pull the trigger. He didn't even put the fucking bullet in the chamber.
Right. And I'm not saying he did kill anybody.
I'm not saying it could have been him and his people. I don't know. I don't know what they look like. But I feel like if it was one of my friends in the dark, I could have saw them. And I don't think they would have did that.
Who do you think actually walked up to that porch? Was it Kolton or was it someone else?
I thought it was Kolton. I said, hey, I was on the phone with Kolton when he got out of the truck.
What side did he get out of?
The only door that opened when I was outside was the driver door. Okay.
Did they unload anything?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Then why would Celeste say that you and Jordan set this up?
She didn't say that.
She didn't.
Because I don't know where Jordan is.
Well, but why would I lie to you about it?
I don't know, to get answers to see if I'm lying.
I couldn't even remember the kid's name. That's why I just had to look at the text message.
She said that me and Jordan set this up?
Yeah.
That's really what she said?
Yes, no games. No games, no tricks. And that's what I'm saying here, telling you, Allie, you didn't set up a murder, okay? You set up a stupid ass drug rip that went bad. That part that went bad is not on you. If you continue to lie, there's a good chance it's going to stick to you.
Okay, so say that you're not just pulling my freaking...
This is no games, Allie. This is no games. I'm not lying to you. This is serious.
Okay, so...
And you're a good person, and I don't want to see you go down for something stupid.
Okay,
so just tell me the truth.
But either way, even if she said that and it's true, I go to jail. Right?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Did you pull a trigger?
No! No, why would I kill somebody?
Exactly. So let's cut this out. You didn't pull a trigger. Okay, you made some mistakes, but let's own up to them. Someone died. This is bigger than just some... You're worried about little petty shit.
I'm not worried about petty stuff. I don't think this is
Allie,
petty.
you're worried about telling me the truth on whether you set up a stupid-ass drug rape.
I didn't set it up.
Or that you were involved in setting it up.
My name is under it.
Allie, it's time to just tell me your involvement in this. I don't think you pulled the trigger. I believe you 100%. There was no intention to hurt anybody. The problem is somebody got hurt. Okay? So let's just get this out. Let's get this part out. I can see it on you. You're just wanting to tell me you're just afraid of going in trouble, of being in trouble. But listen, this is a real situation.
I want to go home. I don't want to go to jail.
What do you think your best options are to go home? You think it's to continue to sit here and feed me a bunch of BS, or you think it's to be like, hey, listen, I'll own up to this little stupid ass thing I set up, but there was no intention for any of this to happen. That's on someone else. You see what I'm saying? It's completely different. Completely different. This is no games. I'm not trying to trick you at all, because what she's saying is sure as hell enough to put you in jail.
But
if you are involved in setting up a robbery, enough people are going to tell us
so that's illegal.
Yes, it's a conspiracy to commit robbery. It is illegal. However, you know who killed him.
I don't know who killed him.
Okay, but you know who was involved in the robbery, Allie, and you can give me information that will help me lead to someone who has murdered your friend. But right now you are holding back because you're afraid of some stupid charge.
It's not stupid.
I know it's not stupid to you. I know.
To jail.
I understand that. But let me tell you something, Allie. The way this is panning out with everybody else talking, if you do not tell me the truth, you're going to go to jail for a long time.
Please don't say that.
But I cannot listen to me. You put yourself in a bad situation. I'm not going to make you any promises that, let's just say, but I don't know. I don't know if you said you had a GB in your house. I don't want to tell you no, you're not going to get like some stupid misdemeanor charge, and then it come out later that I lied to you.
Well, it wasn't the house, it was on the property, so the property is not mine.
Well, there you go. Whatever. But that's what I'm saying. I don't like making promises.
I'm talking about like robbery, murder, shit that's going to put me in jail for more than a night.
I can tell you that this is what I can tell you at this point. It's everything that's going on around us with everybody talking, Celeste talking, and then we're going to start piecing this all together. It sounds like everybody's starting to give it up. Those are the ones who aren't going to go to jail for a long time. The people who don't tell us the truth and lie and all that, when it comes out, they're going to be the ones that get examples made out of them because they were not cooperative. They show no remorse for human life, and they will not even just talk.
I do care.
Then just tell me it's a small
part. I just
part.
invited him over.
Okay, so who do you want to invite over?
Kolton.
No,
I didn't set up a robbery. I was supposed to leave with Kolton, and Celeste was supposed to come with me.
Allie, we're backtracking.
We're not. That was the plan.
Are you serious?
Can I call Katie before I talk to you about all this, please? Because I don't want to go to jail, and I don't have any family, and I don't have anybody that's going to bail me out or give me an attorney because I have dumb friends. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't.
Right.
And I do care about Kolton, and I do care about his life, but I didn't murder him, and I didn't rob him, and I didn't do any of that.
But you know what? Listen.
My life matters too, and I'm not going to throw it away over some...
Why do you think I'm still in here talking to you?
I understand.
It almost sounds. I'm getting text messages now where it almost sounds like I don't even need to talk to you anymore. I mean, we can just throw handcuffs on you and be done with this whole thing.
Handcuffs for what?
For conspiracy to commit robbery or whatever I can come up with a list of things, I'm sure, with everyone else is telling us. But everyone's got a side to a story. If you don't tell your side of the story, then, I mean, that's on you. That's on you, and you're going to get charged. 100%. We're at a point now where you tell me the truth, and I can at least go to my people and say, hey, listen. And I can explain to them the kind of person you are, and that, I mean, the honest truth of it is you just made a stupid mistake. There was no intent.
Mistakes still send you to jail.
They do, but they don't send you to prison.
I'm not gonna be able to go to jail and get an attorney. And I wouldn't even be able to put money on my books or do anything. I don't have anybody. I have myself. That's it.
Well, then do the right thing. Do the right thing. If that's all you have, it sounds like you have no choice. Allie, you've got to tell the truth. I mean, it's going to come out one way or the other. You've got to tell the truth.
Are y'all charging me with something?
Right this second? I don't know. I'll have to go check with them because they're talking to somebody.
Will you ask them, please?
Why? What does that change?
Everything.
So let me get this straight. Your friend's been killed, and if you find out you're being charged with a crime, you're just gonna.
Because I'm not gonna. Whether I tell the truth or I lie, yes, the truth goes a long way. It does.
It does go a long way.
I agree with you, but
in fact, by you lying, it's only making you. It's making
I'm
you look
not
like
lying.
but by you holding back, it's making you look like a monster. It's making you look like you could care less about Kolton. All I'm simply asking is just for the truth and your very small piece in this, so I can move on from this, and I can go get after the person who actually did something majorly wrong. Allie, what did you see when you walked outside?
They just attacked him.
Who? I mean, I know Jordan, but who? I mean, who attacked?
I swear, I don't know the other people.
Okay. What did Jordan do when they pulled up?
I didn't see him. I didn't see where he came from. I didn't see where any of them came from. They were on the front porch. They didn't even know that Kolton went to the gas station. They didn't know nothing. I didn't give Kolton the right address on purpose. I gave Kolton the wrong address multiple times, and he still kept coming, and they still wouldn't leave it alone.
So you gave him the wrong address.
Multiple times.
Hoping that he wouldn't make it out there because you knew they were going to rob him. And you've got a conscience.
They didn't have anything to rob. I didn't think he had anything on him, and that is the truth. I didn't think they had anything on him.
Why did they think he did? Because he's a drug dealer? I mean, why?
No, Jordan was just... I don't know the pieces to Jordan and the other people that were with Jordan on the porch. I don't know them. I've never seen them. I don't think Jordan intended for this. I know that Jordan didn't pull the trigger. Jordan's a pussy. He wouldn't kill anybody.
How do you know that? You didn't see it.
But do I think Jordan would talk up? Can that person over there hear me? No. Do I think Jordan would instigate something? Yes. Do I think he would kill somebody? No. Not at all. Not at all. And that's the honest truth. And I kept telling him to leave it alone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go to jail for this. Even when I tried stopping it.
And by you try stopping it, you mean by sending him the wrong address, right? Multiple times. Is that what you mean? And trying to talk Jordan out of it?
I tried to talk him out of it. I went on the porch because
when you're talking them out of it, what are they saying they're going to do? I mean, just rob him at gunpoint, or are they...
No, I didn't think they had a gun. Jordan doesn't own a gun.
But
they never said anything about a gun, never.
Okay, but Allie, there's a reason why you were giving him the wrong address and why you're trying to prevent this from happening. What did you think was going to happen?
I didn't want them to fail at robbing somebody and then my name look bad. And two, I didn't want them to rob him anyways.
But they told you they were going to rob him, right? Now, I guess they weren't very specific.
No, they said if he has anything, we're taking it. They didn't say we're going to rob him.
That's a robbery. But in a roundabout way, that's a robbery. They told you if he has something, we're going to take it. And there was enough there for you to try and
Even
step
Celeste told them, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. I said, don't do this in front of us, don't do this, don't do this.
in. Don't you think that's important for us to know?
Yes, it's important, but the point of it is I had him come there.
You're right.
I did.
You're right.
Even if I tried stopping it and he still fucking came. I know the kid probably liked me, but I don't.
Or even when they're trying to set this up and they're talking to you. And I mean, and Jordan's the one that specifically told you to get Kolton to come, right? That's what you told me
Yeah,
earlier.
they were asking if I knew any people with drugs to buy drugs, and I said, yeah, I know people that sell drugs. Did they use me as a fucking scapegoat or whatever the fuck you want to call it? Probably, sure.
Did they specifically ask you to call Kolton, or did you just because you knew you could get stuff from Kolton?
No, I called Kolton because I wanted to hang out with Kolton.
But they asked you for someone to invite someone over who had drugs, right? Or that.
Yes, and I guess they just assumed that was Kolton.
I think you got put in a bad situation with Jordan, and I think you called Kolton or messaged him or whatever, got him to come over, but you immediately had a change of heart and tried to give him wrong address after wrong address after wrong address, which shows you have a heart. You're not a bad person.
I even told him to stay at the gas station, and I would walk to the gas station, and he said he was already on the road.
See, there you go.
Okay, so that's the end of her police interview. Let me tell you now what actually happened, then I'll give you the outcome of this case, right? So, Jordan told Alexandra, can you invite people over to the house who have drugs on them because I want to rob them? Alexandra thought, gee, that's a good idea. So she invited Kolton over. When Kolton came, there was Kolton, a guy called David, and another man called Tyler. They get out of the car, and this is when the three men, Jordan, Ozell, and Torren, ran towards the car, got a gun, pinned the other three individuals down. But one of them shot Kolton. He's the one that died. So what do you think their punishment should be? Well, as for Alexandra, she was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Do you think 15 years was justified? Now the other suspects, Jordan, Torian, and Ozell, they pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Jordan was sentenced to 25 years in prison, Torian was sentenced to 30 years, and Ozell was sentenced to 26 years. The only reason Alexandra got a lesser sentence is because she agreed to testify against the other defendants. And in Florida, if you are part of a robbery that turns into a homicide, then your involvement gets upgraded, which is what happened to her. 15 years. I do think she's telling the truth when she said she did not intend for this to happen, but my God, one decision has ruined her life. Comment, tell me what you think.